just you and me sure makes one beautiful sight.
Invented loungewear. Yeah, loungewear. You can trust our thousands of 5-star reviews because Tommy John knows how comfortable you want to be.
Go to TommyJohn.com now and get 20% off your first order with code TV20.
What is Circle? Circle is the fuel you need to take flight. Circle is your frosted treat with a sweet kick of confidence. Circle is to get you to the next level. Circle is what you hope for when life tosses lemons your way. Circle is your gateway back home. So what is Circle? It's your water, your way. Circle, available at Walmart and drinkcircle.com.
Welcome to the Waverhood. With Wayfair, finding your style is fun.
Again, when the music stops, grab in the chair. Doesn't matter if it's your outdoor style or not.
I'm sorry, Carl. This is me in chair form.
I don't see it.
Oh, come on.
This one's perfect for you, but you love it.
I told you we should have done a piñata.
I explained it so many times.
Mm-hmm. They're not sitting. You need to sit down.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have professionals standing by to tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hello, I'm Gina, along with person Rob. Rob, tell the folks at home who should be calling right now.
Well, just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now, and we're going to let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. So what kind of calls have we been seeing today?
We're getting calls from all types of accidents today. Work accidents, slip and falls, truck accidents, most commonly car accidents. So if you were injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, take that first step, pick up that phone and give us a call. We're going to answer your questions and we'll let you know how much money you can get for your accident.
Thanks, Rob. All right, folks at home, you heard it. Go ahead, don't hesitate, take that first step and call now.
We are kicking off a very active period for severe storms. Today starts 6 consecutive days with chances of large hail, damaging winds, and even some strong tornadoes on a few of those days. You're watching Storm Center. I'm meteorologist Jackie Jarris with my colleagues, meteorologist Chris Warren and Chris Bruin tonight, and we are going to be busy, and some days will be busier than others through the duration of this event.
At times, including on Thursday, the storms are expected to bring some very large hail, and then this weekend could feature even more damaging storms. And of course, here at the Weather Channel and on Storm Center, we will be tracking the patterns setting up that will help create this threat that's happening, eventually over the next couple of days right through the weekend.
Yeah, plus we're getting ready to protect America this hurricane season. One insurance group is out with its new rankings of states with the best building codes and safety provisions to protect your family and your home and business. We're going to be examining the top 5 states. First, though, we want to get started with what's popping on the radar right now. We got a lot of steady rain in the Midwest. Watching Chicago maybe for a few thunderstorms, Milwaukee, Michigan, and then some stronger storms into Texas.
That's right. And right now it's mainly Michigan with the majority of the storm activity here in the Midwest. In fact, the storms that were producing some lightning and thunder in Wisconsin taking a bit of pause here. Some thunderstorm activity out over Lake Michigan, but also through central and northeast Michigan here at the moment. As far as Illinois goes and Chicago, relatively quiet, but it is wet here from Indianapolis to Cincinnati up to Fort Wayne and over to Cleveland, down to Columbus. So a lot of the Midwest here in Indiana and Ohio wet. But it's these rain showers that are coming with a boom. Thunderstorms here in Grand Rapids, north to Saginaw as well. And we'll keep watching this right here. Just about due east across Wisconsin in the central part of the state. That has a history of lightning, some thunderstorm activity, and it's still showing some pretty heavy rain. In the coming hours, still the threat is there for the pop of some severe weather. Severe thunderstorm watch, conditions favorable for the development of severe weather. And this evening and today, it looks like hail is really going to be the big threat. 2 inches or larger hail, so larger than golf balls, a possibility in some of these areas, with a couple of warnings. Severe thunderstorm warnings right now here northwest of Abilene. Severe thunderstorm warning again with this radar indicated severe thunderstorm warning. Another one right here. This storm's starting to see a little bit of that classic look. It's got a little bit of an appendage on there. Has a supercell thunderstorm look to it. Does have a considerable threat tag associated with that. So continue to watch that. See if we get more rotation and possibly a larger hail as well. But the winds of this, of course, can be damaging. Could see around 70-mile-per-hour winds.
All right, so folks there need to have the cars in the garage, need to be alert, hopefully staying off the road. This is a small taste, though, I think, of what's going to be headed to the plains coming up.
Well, and not all of our ingredients are even in play yet as we go into the middle part of the week, which just ups that risk for severe weather.
So we'll get back to Jackie in a moment about that central setup here. But, Chris, you're keeping an eye on the Midwest as we're seeing some storms popping today.
Yes, nothing severe, but we have had a pretty blustery day. It's been wet. It's been cloudy. Here's the view from St. Mary's, Ohio. And heavier rain will continue this evening. You can see the wet conditions on the lens of the camera, but everything's greening up so nice here. It's those cold, cloudy days really kind of allows us to even pop even further. And it makes you appreciate some of the warmer days ahead. So once this clears us, we're in shape for much better conditions come tomorrow for at least the Midwest. All of this is going to be pushing into the Northeast. As far as travel goes, haven't had too many delays, so that's been in good shape. Green for all the area airports right now. Yesterday, like Michigan could see some thunderstorms. And that area has been expanded now, including northern Illinois and southern parts of Wisconsin. So we'll watch Milwaukee and Chicago. Not everybody's seeing thunderstorms, but Grand Rapids seeing a few heavier downpours and some lightning right now as storms are in the vicinity. Some of that could pop up here around Chicago. We'll see. Detroit, though, I think we could see some storms after dark tonight, getting into 11 p.m., maybe midnight. Lighter showers here pushing south of the Ohio River Valley, and then wet weather for the morning commute into Washington, D.C., around the Chesapeake Bay. We could have some low cloud, and then maybe some spotty thunderstorms here around Pennsylvania at times when things kind of break apart and the sky conditions really start to finally clear out. Rainfall goes, it's pretty minimal. Where we get a thunderstorm is where we may get an inch. Most of us probably less than a half inch. We're not really concerned with flooding. Just the cold, raw nature of this whole system. So the weather we've been dealing with in the Midwest is headed for the Northeast. We could see some gustier winds here across coastal, and winds start to quiet down back across the upper Midwest and places around lakes. You can see Bangor getting upwards of 30, even 35 miles per hour, and some gusts maybe up to 40 miles per hour, guys, in higher elevations right at the coast in New England.
All right, and here it is Tuesday. Tomorrow, severe weather threat going up again on Thursday, and taking us right into the weekend, Jackie.
That's right. We're going to have kind of a flip-flop going on with our weather pattern. While we've been frosty in the east, and we've been southwest. We're going to change that around, and we're going to go into what's really a classic weather pattern, especially in the spring months, for severe storm trough into the west and a ridge into the east. So those of you in the west are going to be cooling down. Those of you in the east are going to be heating up. And in the middle, that's where things are going to be firing up when it comes to severe weather. Our disturbances are already out here, and it's really two big disturbances that we're tracking, one off the southwest West Coast, the other one over towards the Gulf of Alaska. So we track the first one that's going to be entering the nation's midsection by your Thursday, and that's going to help to pull moisture towards the north. That will also help to bring that dry line to spawn more severe thunderstorms. I think large hail will likely be the broadest risk, but then developing and changing into more of a tornado risk with time, especially as we go farther to the north. So if you are shaded in one of these colors here, you're at risk Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. And then we have the next system that's going to be coming in that will affect you in the nation's midsection as we go into your Saturday and Sunday. But by the time this second system comes in, we will have already reset the atmosphere. The heat is here, the moisture is here. We're not working on it, it's there. So when the trigger arrives, and it's stronger than the first one, will bring more severe thunderstorms across the region. So this one may be packing even more punch Saturday into your Sunday, and this will likely be affecting a lot of the same areas that were already hit Thursday and into your Friday. So very active weather pattern. Folks need to be prepared for multiple days of severe weather in multiple rounds as well. Chris?
That's right. Day after day after day, possibly after day after day. Here are three of those days: Wednesday, Thursday, tomorrow, and then again on Thursday. Likelihood there will be severe weather. And on the right-hand side of the screen here on Friday, the right monitor, that shows the severe weather threat. And notice Oklahoma in each one of these days. And there is an overlap. And Jackie showing us the pattern, how that's setting up. So with that, severe weather happening where also it was active last week just north of there, but still within the threat zone on Thursday and Friday. These areas right here, confirmed tornadoes from last Tuesday. Now, here's Wednesday, here's Thursday, here's Friday. That overlap right there in Oklahoma. And part of the reason why with these lows going like this, kind of in the, not quite the crossroads, but you're in that, you know, the middle of the road, essentially, if you will, here. As these lows go by, the main ingredients continue to set up into this zone here with the warm front. That's going to help get the air rising. There's a lot of energy, so once the air starts going, it's going to pop and continue to rise and create some big updrafts. Daytime heating also adds to that, increases the buoyancy, increases the initiation even for more thunderstorm development. And storms will tomorrow be somewhat conditional, so they'll need to break through the cap. If it doesn't get warm enough or something doesn't come to erode the cap or they start to rise, the air can be suppressed initially, but once that air pops through that, it's going to go. So we'll be watching the radar, watching the visible satellite very closely tomorrow. But then again on Thursday and on Friday, storms that fire expected to be strong and also be big-time rain producers. With that, Thursday morning into Friday morning, flood threat again during the day Friday, overnight Friday into Saturday for these areas. So multiple days of severe weather with multiple threats. These storms, of course, will come with lightning, the heavy rain. Lightning and heavy rain, not technically a severe category, but we know, Chris, we've seen it time and time again, can have severe consequences.
Yeah, flash flooding, I think it will become more of a concern, too, as this kind of plays out and we get more of the rain to fall over some of these same risk zone. Just because you have severe weather, those storms can produce a lot of heavy rain. Sometimes it gets overlooked when we're dealing with tornadoes or severe storms, but many of these spots are going to see this threat day by day. So there's Friday. Let's fast forward to the next hit, because I want to show you the system that is going to allow for our pattern to continue into the weekend. So here's what looks to be later this week, right? But this is our next piece of energy that comes in right on the heels of this. Another developing low pressure spitting out over the plains as we go into Saturday and Sunday. This one a little stronger and also has some colder air to work with. with. There will be quite a temperature contrast between Colorado, Wyoming, where we will be dealing with snow, versus Oklahoma and Texas, where we're going to be on the warm side and severe weather likely. That's something we'll have to watch as we go in time, especially with the wind energy. The instability is quite notable here over the southern plains, but even spreading up into Nebraska and Kansas and Missouri. So right now, we're 4 or 5 days out, and we're already getting an outlook for the central southern plains from Kansas City all the way down to Texas, northern Texas, Dallas included, even all the way into the northern hill country around Waco. The instability quite notable there. And watch this, Saturday morning, afternoon, we start to see those storms pop. And where you have the rain over that area of greatest instability is where we could have some significant storms. So we'll watch several areas simultaneously as we go into the latter evening hours, and then night, still ongoing storms perhaps in some of these areas, and then the severe threat continuing. There's the cold side of our low as that northerly wind kind of kicks in and drops our temperatures. All right, there's a look on Sunday a little bit further east along our boundary that will kind of linger there. Instability up into parts of the Great Lakes, but still very potent over Texas and also into Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas, kind of lingering there. We'll see what Monday holds, but that's almost a week away. So that's kind of way down the pipeline to be highlighting severe threat. Now, I mentioned the flash flood risks. These produce heavy rain. And remember, we're going to start seeing storms as early as Thursday and Friday in many of these spots, and this will continue. Latest guidance now with the European model. Parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, over 8 to 12 inches of rain, perhaps. Northern Texas and even this in Missouri, we could see some significant rainfall, which this would certainly lead to the flash flood concern. And the GFS is not as high with some of the rainfall totals, but it's in similar places. So watching parts of Oklahoma into Missouri, where we could see over a ½ foot of rain or more. We still got a couple of days to watch this, and we'll see how the storms eventually evolve Thursday and Friday, and where that risk is this weekend. If they overlap, we could see some very intense rainfall and the risk for flooding, and then not to mention the wind associated with this entire system. This could be a windy system regardless of severe weather. We're talking 40, even 50 miles per hour across much of the middle of the country, Jackie.
New today, the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety has just released the 2024 edition of Rating the States. It's a report that looks at several factors, including building codes, contractor education, and licensing requirements in states that are most vulnerable to hurricanes. Each state is scored on a 100 scale, with higher scores given to states best prepared to mitigate damage from windstorms. Now, the green states that you see here are the highest, whereas the red states have some work to do when it comes to protecting properties and lowering the immense cost that hurricanes bring. Chris.
And in the 3 years since the last report was released, the United States was hit by 6 landfalling hurricanes, 3 of which made landfall in Florida, including Hurricane Ian in 2022. Total losses from Ian exceeded $110 billion. But the report finds that could have been much higher if Florida's modern building codes were not in place.
So it's up to local communities and states to decide what those safety and building codes are to protect property from hurricane wind and flood damage. Earlier today on Weather Underground, we heard from the chief engineer at the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety on how your hometown can be better prepared.
If you just walk around on the streets and say, hey, you know, do you think that there's a national building? Most people would mistakenly say yes. People don't know they're making a choice about having a building code or not. The other thing is cost. It does cost a lot to stand up a building code and to start enforcing it. You have to create that opportunity. But right now, if any local jurisdiction is going to do it, the time is now, because there are some great immigrants out there to help local jurisdictions do just that.
All right, so now we want to start taking a look at the states at the top of the list. Coming in at number 5 is one of the most improved states. That's Louisiana. The state started requiring code-specific training for building officials, which helped it to crack the top 5. And Louisiana also launched a grant program to help fund fortified roof installations for homeowners. 5 hurricanes made landfall between 2020 and 2021 in Louisiana. So the improvements are making sure people are more prepared for the future. Now, for improvement, officials should consider requiring continuing education classes for contractors. And you can see how over the last decade, we've made significant improvements here across the state of Louisiana.
Breathing Claritin Clear is like...
Pretty girls walk like this. Is he?
Claritin Clear? Yeah. Fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, like nasal congestion. Live Claritin Clear.
Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why SelectQuote makes getting coverage you need easy. Now get up to a $2 million policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit SelectQuote.com now.
Before I would ever give a product to a patient, I tried on myself. So I started taking Super Beats, and I said, wow, Super Beats is a game changer.
It's given me the energy that I want, the blood pressure support that I need.
Circulation, heart health.
You feel like you can get things done.
I really am feeling a difference.
I just love it.
Over 1 million people have put Super Beats blood pressure support supplements to the test. And today, we have over 80,000 5-star ratings and reviews. We're trusted by over 120 pro and college sports teams. We're America's only #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended beat brand for heart health support.
It helps dilate blood vessels. It helps increase my circulation. It's having a beneficial effect on my heart and my energy. It makes me healthier.
My grandkids say, Grandma, I can't keep up with you. Where do you get your energy from? And I said, Super Beats.
Start your year with a free month supply, plus free shipping and a 90-day money-back guarantee on all bundles. Exclusively when you call or visit superbeats.com.
At Olive Garden, we think you should get more for less. So with Create Your Own Pasta, you get more ways to match your favorite pasta with your choice of homemade sauce, starting at $13.49. On top of that, you get our never-ending first course that's always on us. And if you still want more, how about a take-home with any entree for just $6? Olive Garden. When you're here, your family.
Apartments.com has helped millions of renters find their places, and they all have a special place in my heart, which is why I keep a picture of each and every one of them in my wallet. Get in there. Get in there. Oh, holy crap. Wow. Oh, hey, I know all these people. There's Sally, and there's Billy.
I'm thinking.
Oh, you know you can put these on your phone, right?
And miss all this fun? Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
It started. It's the side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then, too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for others, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Welcome.
Hi.
Now, as the dad cab, it's my cue to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next. Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination.
Power of the Weather Channel, now available to everyone. Real-time radar, and so much more. Go to streamtwc.com to start your free 7-day trial.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive. But here's the secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh, hi. We're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You can try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Welcome to StockX, where we believe in sneakers for everyone. From the greatest rails to the latest trends, every sneaker you want is here. You can trust that every order is StockX verified, backed up by our buyer promise. Shop now at StockX.com.
It's a hard conversation to have. When you die, this is what's going to happen.
Trust and Will makes it really easy and succinct for people to go out there, create their estate plan. It's such an important thing to have. The things and the people that you care about are taken care of.
Create your estate plan at trustandwill.com.
Things are heating up on the Weather Channel.
Watch yourself.
If you Things are heating up on the Weather Channel.
Watch yourself.
If you can't stand the heat, get off the highway. Highway Through Hell is back. At this time, the road is playing for keeps.
That's a nightmare and a half. That was close.
Highway Through Hell. Sundays 8. Only on the Weather Channel.
Well, we've been talking a lot about this week's severe storm threat and even hurricane season. But over the weekend, this was the scene across the Front Range where we saw a good bit of snow. That was the view from Evergreen, Colorado, enough to coat the ground in trees in white. In fact, at Denver, we officially picked up about 6 inches of snowfall. Sneaky little system that definitely overachieved. And further east in Denver, we also got snow. To add to our April totals, look to be about 2 inches here on the railing from this location. It was widespread. You know how the Denver metro area can be? It can be 1 inch in one part, no snow in others, and then a foot or more just across town on the different side of the metro area. And even a dusting snow here in Thornton, Colorado. You can see those big flakes coming down. It's got to come down heavily enough this time of year to really accumulate because those temperatures are typically on the marginal side, right around freezing or maybe above. I'm here virtually in Denver at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. And believe it or not, snow like this is not all that uncommon, even this late in the season. Even into early May, we can have Mother's Day snowstorms. The Front Range actually can see big snowstorms and blizzards in April and even occasionally into May. So take a look at the setup we have for this weekend because winter weather is again going to be a threat. This would be back-to-back weekends of wintry weather from last weekend where we just saw the sun come out yesterday after after half a week of stuck in the clouds, so feeling a lot more like winter. The European model not hinting as much snow for the city. Definitely a big storm for the mountains, maybe at double-digit totals there up towards the ski resorts, and then some accumulation south of the Denver metro area, especially up towards Castle Rock. The GFS is going bonkers again with some very big-time snowfall up towards Rocky Mountain National Park and into the higher elevations just west of the foothills. Denver again in that little bit of a hole where we could see a wintry mix, but maybe not a ton of accumulation. But notice the southern suburbs here on Centennial and then up towards Castle Rock, we could see some accumulating snow and certainly maybe a half foot of snow between Colorado Springs and Denver. So when we talk about snowfall throughout the season, we average close to 60 inches of snow for the entire winter, and a lot of that comes in spring, the latter half of winter from January, February, March, our snowiest on average, and even April where we average over 8.5 inches of snowfall. And you can see when it comes to at least an inch of snow or more since 2006, we've had 25 days in April since 2006 that we've had an inch of snow or more, and even into May. It's likely snowier later in the season, in late spring, than in early fall. We have more days of snow typically in April and May, Jackie, than earlier in the fall.
Yeah, I remember hiking up in the Colorado Rockies in July 4th, and there was still snowpack. It was up at 10,000 feet, but hey, there was still snow. You know, April really can be one of the snowiest months for parts of these mountainous states, including Montana. This is video from a spring blizzard that hit Montana back in April of 2019. Blizzard warnings were in effect on April 30th, and it even went into May. Now, Oklahoma, believe it or not, has also dealt with some occasional blasts of spring snow. This is video from a rare late April blizzard that clobbered Boise City, Oklahoma back in April of 2017. Winds increased, the storm intensified, and it led to whiteout and blizzard type conditions. That one's a little bit more rare, but April snow certainly happens once in a while. May snow will happen. We look at climatology. It's really these red spots that you see on the map where we're more likely to get snow in April. March, it's a little bit more common in some of these areas and can be one of the snowiest months across parts of Montana, Wyoming, even into the Dakotas. In fact, some of the models are hinting at a little bit of snow into the Dakotas into the coming days. So we'll continue to monitor that and keep an eye on it. This will show you who's actually had snow so far in April. And look at places like the Midwest. Parts of the Northeast have had April snow. That's more unusual. This is certainly where we would expect to see snow this time of the year, if we're going to get it. So as we take a look at the longer range forecast, as we go towards the end of April and into May, I'm seeing a lot of above average conditions here. So the chances of snow are rapidly going downhill. But hey, check it out. We'll have to check out conditions in the Cascades at the end of the month and into early May. Warren?
The Weather Channel is working to help protect America this hurricane season as we continue counting down the top states for the best building codes according to IBHS. New Jersey takes the 4th slot. The Garden State gained 2 points in the contractor licensing category by adding a competency test for general contractors and roofing contractors. The IBHS report says it would climb higher if they also add continuing education for contractors, roofers, and residential code enforcement officials. The rest of the countdown coming up here on Storm Center.
Wendy's Orange Dreamsicle Frosty, this takes me back, man.
It's like taking a trip down memory lane.
I didn't know they sold dreamsicles on memory lane.
For the flavor that takes you back, get Wendy's new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty.
Guys, listen up. Want to try the strongest FDA-approved ED meds available? If appropriate, get maximum strength generic Viagra prescribed online at 95% off. Just $2 per tablet at RexMD.com.
My name is Jackson, and I have spastic cerebral palsy. It's a mouthful. One of the harder things is the little things that I need help with. Getting dressed, brushing your teeth, being able to go out with your friends by yourself. Those are hard because you don't want help, but you need it.
Children like Jackson need continued support for the rest of their lives. And you can help. Please join Easter Seals right now with your monthly gift.
I'm almost there.
The kids that you're helping, their goals is to be as independent as they can. These therapies help my son to achieve that goal.
Easter Seals offers important disability and community services that can change a life forever. Please, go online, call, or scan the QR code right now with your gift of just $19 a month.
It really does make a difference. Strengthening with Easter Seals helped me realize I can get through hard things. Don't give up. Keep trying.
Even better.
Please visit helpeasterseals.com. Call or scan the QR code on your screen with your gift of $19 a month. And we'll send you this t-shirt as a thank you.
Your help and your support, the need for it is endless.
Thank you, because there's a lot of people with disabilities out there. People like me.
Please, join Easter Seals with your monthly gift right now.
At Omaha Steaks, we do burgers differently. We take a premium aged steak like this and turn it into a pure ground burger like this. So this is actually a ribeye. This is a New York strip, top sirloin, beef brisket, and this is a filet mignon. For a limited time, our Burger Perfection flight comes with 20 big juicy burgers, all for just $79.99. Get it today at omahasteaks.com/TV. This is Burger Perfection, guaranteed.
This is a story about the one. The untrained eye may not see the one as extraordinary, but her goals aren't easy. She fixes, she manages, she perfects. She is extraordinary. Because for the one, maintaining this space transports her
to this space. The industrial-grade product you need, plus 1 million more. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Before Apoquel Chewable for allergic itch, giving dogs pills was a battle of wits.
Oh, Maria, I'm wise to your foolish game.
Is it gone?
Totally gone.
Itch relief just got easier. Apoquel, the trusted #1 treatment for allergic itch, is now available in a tasty chewable that works in a day.
Do not use in dogs with serious infections. May cause worsening of existing parasitic skin infestations or pre-existing cancers and serious infections. New neoplasias have been observed. Do not use in dogs less than 12 months old.
Ask your vet for Apoquel Chewable.
Do it.
Right now, scanning the skies in the Windy City. Some dark skies overhead, a few showers left over here, but overall relatively quiet at 61 degrees. Imagine if you were up on one of those tall buildings, say the tallest one in the middle, and you were looking out over the park. Do you know what you would see? You'd see Lake Michigan, and you would see a little bit of blue sky. A little bit grayer sky off to the left, and even a little bit of a yellow or orange tinge there on the horizon. So when you have showers, you can still see some blue and a few clouds here and there. The weather just kind of gets a little bit more interesting, if you will, during the springtime when you get these pop-up showers, mix of sunshine here and there. It can be a little more turbulent, but certainly can keep you on your toes as well. Out over Lake Michigan, also some thunderstorms and some lightning. You can see that right here. Also throughout central Michigan, right up to where the thumb and the tip of the mid are, and right through Indiana, now into Ohio. A big swath of rain with the yellow and orange showing us where some of the heaviest of rain is right now. Not super heavy, but heavier compared to the other stuff that's going on. Quick burst of heavy rain with these thunderstorms around Grand Rapids. It's been kind of lingering for a while now on the north side of Grand Rapids, also north Saginaw, and right along the tip of the thumb as well, with some thunderstorms here. No lightning with the showers that we're currently watching in Wisconsin at the moment, but that could change. If it does, I think a better chance with this one right here as opposed to that one. Down here into Texas, we're going to be watching this area over the next coming days. But tonight, severe thunderstorm watch is in effect. Hail, the big threat. Could see damaging winds as well with some of these storms, including this one, with the severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect. Severe thunderstorm threat will be increasing in the coming days, and Jackie's got a closer look at that.
Right, and we've already seen a lot of big hail just last weekend, and we could see very big hail with our next storm system that comes in, especially on Thursday. I think that risk increases along with the chance of stronger tornadoes. Now, Wednesday, there's a chance of severe weather. It's not as high, but still a possibility, so you need to be prepared for all those hazards here if you live in the highlighted color of kind of a lighter red into Texas and into Oklahoma, including you into Oklahoma City. Thursday, the risk is higher, in fact, likely to get severe weather into parts of Kansas, into Oklahoma, and the panhandle of Texas, but still possible, stretching from central Texas all the way up into parts of Nebraska. And I think hailstorms will initiate down here, and then gradually, as we get more instability, working its way northward with time into Thursday night, we could be talking about some tornadoes, a few of which may be strong. On Friday, look at how expansive the area is now. We're talking Waco, Dallas, Fort Smith, Oklahoma City, maybe yet again, Kansas City, Lincoln, Omaha, Council Bluffs, Des Moines, maybe even Sioux City. So a very large area onto your Friday. So here's our first disturbance. It's down here working in off of the Pacific. It'll work its way across the Four Corners and then begin to promote low pressure to develop at the surface. And that cyclogenesis is likely to happen pretty rapidly and intensely, and that will help to steer in that moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, while drier winds will be coming in behind this from the desert areas to create the dry line, which will serve generally as a cold front or a trigger and a lift to get storms going. So a lot of energy with the daytime heating here into parts of Texas and Oklahoma, but north of there, we're probably going to have a little cap in place, some warmer air aloft. So the hail makers will get started and then evolve northward into more of a tornado threat. And that's going to go into your Wednesday, Thursday, both dealing with some active weather across these areas, and there you can see on up into parts of the Midwest, and the dynamics begin to change as we take a look at Thursday into Friday. The rain is needed. It will likely come in rounds, and unfortunately, Bruin, this may be a little too much of a good thing in these areas. We need the rain, but with rounds of it, that increases our flood risk.
Yeah, and some of the totals the models are hinting at are concerning. Certainly something we'll be watching closely. Well, the Weather Channel is protecting America this hurricane season. We continue counting down the top states for the best building codes according to the IBHS. South Carolina's implementation of a 3-year set schedule for code adoption makes it one of the best, number 3 on the list. In fact, IBHS says if they required continuing education for contractors, South Carolina would jump into the top spot. The top 2 spots are going to be coming up next here on Storm Center, along with a look at conditions across the Midwest, where it's been a cold, raw day here, including Carmel, Indiana, 53 degrees. Everything's kind of damp, and it's been breezy as well, with gusts over 30 miles per hour.
Wendy's Orange Dreamsicle Frosty, this takes me back, man.
It's like taking a trip down memory lane.
I didn't know they sold dreamsicles on memory lane.
For the flavor that takes you back. Get Wendy's new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty.
Consumer Cellular, this is Sam. How may I help you? This is a butt dial. Well, somebody's butt. Just thought I'd let you know that with Consumer Cellular, you can get the same exact coverage as the leading carriers, but for up to half the price.
Did you know GoodRx can help you get a better price on your family's prescriptions?
I just opened the app, type in the name of our meds. That's it. Savings on my asthma medication. All right, round 2, baby, round 2. Oh, yeah. Savings on my husband's blood pressure pills. And savings on my daughter's allergy pills.
Prescription savings for the whole family.
Have a good one.
Good reason to check GoodRx.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.
4imprint, for certain. Race car drivers change lanes very fast, but with no outside mirrors. How come they don't crash? Introducing Angel View, the new wide-angle mirror that reduces blind spots. Angel View simply snaps over your car's rear view mirror, giving you a 160-degree view behind you. Ordinary rear view mirrors are small and flat, but Angel View has a huge mirror with curved glass. This convex shape allows you to see both blind spots with one glance. And with our Pro Edition special coating, it's anti-glare at night. Get your Angel View now for just $19.99 through this special offer. But wait, this may be your last chance to get Angel View at this low price. There is a strict limit of 2 Angel Views per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-930-7904. That's 1-800-930-7904. Or visit getangelview.com. So call 1-800-930-7904 now.
HCM is a serious heart condition affecting as many as 1 in 200 people, like me.
And me. I was still short of breath on my beta blocker.
So I talked to my cardiologist.
And asked about treatment advances in HCM.
That talk made a real difference.
It gave me new hope.
Talk to your cardiologist today. Visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
I can't believe I get to work at Target. I hope she knows she's getting deals automatically. Oh, I'd tell her if it wasn't a dream. Looks like Pamela just let that guy know he could get unlimited same-day delivery. And she's gonna save an extra 5% with a Target Circle card. What's that? No, I don't want to wake up. There's too many deals.
You are awake, and the deals are real.
Then how do you explain Abe Lincoln over by the chips?
Geico makes car insurance easy.
Say when.
As easy as loving Parmesan.
Say when. Say when. Say when. When. Fresh ground pepper? Oh, yes, please.
With 24/7 emergency roadside service, it's easy to Geico.
Oh, can we get a box?
Of course.
Well, forecasts out already are predicting a very busy hurricane season this year. The weather company is predicting 24 named storms with major hurricanes, and Colorado State University predicting 23 named storms with 5 of them likely to be major hurricanes. Already, we're starting to see some very warm water temperatures across the areas where storms start to form.
Climate specialist Carl Parker looks at why this has meteorologists concerned for this year's hurricane season.
A lot of concern about the upcoming hurricane season for a couple of reasons. One is that El Nino is on the wane, and El Nino seasons tend to be a little bit less active. La Nina may be approaching, and La Nina seasons tend to be a little more active. But another big part of it is what's going on with the oceans. We've got so much warmth in the oceans. These are the current sea surface temp anomalies. All of those areas in yellow and orange are where the oceans are warmer than average, but it's not just about what's going on at the surface. It's also about below the surface. When a hurricane comes through, it churns up the water, and oftentimes it churns cooler water from below, and that can interfere with the maintenance of that hurricane unless there's a great depth to the very warm water. And we're seeing more and more of that in the Atlantic Basin right now. We call that ocean heat content, and these are areas right now where there's a great depth to that warm water that is sufficient enough to power hurricanes. You see that across parts of the Caribbean and also across parts of the Atlantic. So when we look at the tropical East Atlantic, where a lot of these storms get going, and we look at the average ocean heat content in the blue line from 2013 to 2023, and then we look at 2023 isolated, we see that it was much, much warmer than that previous 10 years. Much, much warmer. So there's a lot of thermal energy in the oceans in the East Atlantic. And that's important because that can mean you can get more storms even in cases where it shouldn't be as favorable. Last year wasn't El Nino, but we saw the 4th highest number of storms, 20 across the Atlantic Basin, even though only a handful had impact in the U.S. Now let's take a look at the ocean heat content for this year. And we see that it's still very, very high. In fact, right now, the level of ocean heat content in the tropical East Atlantic is as high as it typically would be in July. That's how much warmth is in the oceans right now. That does not bode well for the upcoming hurricane season. Now let's also talk about El Nino and La Nina. And so when we look at past seasons, you see La Nina years in red and you see El Nino years in purple. So generally speaking, La Nina years tend to be more active. But you also see that there's been this uptrend in recent years, and that has to do with there being more warmth in the oceans and a greater depth to that warmth as well. 2020 was the big year. We saw 30 named storms in 2020. One of them was Hurricane Laura, which came into southwest Louisiana. But what's interesting about the number of storms that we see in a given year is that there's not a very strong correlation between the number of storms and the level of impact that we see here in the U.S. For example, in 2020, there was $50 billion worth of damage, but then in 2022, we had half the number of storms, but $120 billion in damage. And then 2023, we had 20 storms and only $4 billion in damage. So a higher number of storms can correspond to a higher level of impact, but it doesn't always. And it's important to be equally prepared every single year.
Yeah, really big takeaway with that last statement, that you always need to be equally prepared each and every year. And a lot of factors go into forecasts for an active tropical season, one of which is the water temperature Carl was talking about. Now, as we look at the water temperature right now in the Atlantic near Florida, for the first time this season, the last 2 days we had water temperatures as much as 80 degrees. That's the sea surface temperatures, not that deep ocean heat content that Carl was talking about. And that happened near Naples, in fact, over towards Clearwater Beach and then down towards Fort Myers. The Keys had been there for a little bit already. And why do we care? Why is 80 degrees important? Because that's basically the minimal sea surface temperature required to sustain a hurricane. And we're seeing this in the month of April, when we typically wouldn't see this until, say, the end of June. So here's a look at Clearwater Beach, for example. Your water temperatures were into the 80s, but look what happened here today. We've actually gone down into the upper 70s, and that's why we're just talking about the surface, because we had a cold front that moved through here. Now, as for the main development region, these are the sea surface temperature anomalies, so still way above average here. In fact, we are above pace of what we saw last year when we were with record warm temperatures. In fact, the temperatures we're seeing now in the MDR, Chris, are about what they were last year at the end of May.
And the Weather Channel is working to help keep America safe this hurricane season. We continue counting down the top states for the best building codes, according to IBHS. Coming in second with 95 out of 100 total points is the hurricane-prone state of Florida. Its building codes and code enforcement proved their merit during Hurricane Ian. Of the 3,000-plus homes analyzed by IBHS after Ian, the homes built with modern Florida building codes suffered no structural damage, saving the state an estimated $1 to $3 billion in damages.
Feeling Claritin Clear is like...
Is she letting her imagination run wild even though she has allergies? Yeah.
Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why SelectQuote makes getting coverage easy. Now get up $1 million policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit SelectQuote.com now.
I've got 2 kids with another one on the way, which means I'm at the pharmacy a lot. Insurance helps to cover the cost, but not as much as you would think. Fortunately, my pharmacist told me about Single Care. It's a free service that gets you discounts at your local pharmacy. Now, I always check Single Care to see if it beats my insurance, and then I just choose the option that gives me the best price. When you're managing a growing family, there's no reason to spend any more than you have to. Visit singlecare.com and start saving today.
So, how long have you lived here?
Over 40 years.
And how are the restaurants around here? Are they good, bad, meh? What's the average household income? Is there a mall? I don't know, a hair salon? Where do you get your hair done?
You gonna move or what?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a lovely neighborhood.
Marcy, we've got to go.
I'm coming.
We've got 17,000 more parks to visit.
You want to give me a hand?
We bring you the best neighborhood info.
Ding dong.
Homes.com.
Over 1 million people have put Super Beats by Human blood pressure support supplements to the test. And the numbers tell the story. We have over 70,000 5-star ratings, and we're trusted by over 120 pro and college sports teams. We're America's #1 selling beet brand. The only #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended beet brand for heart health support. See why we've won the hearts of people across America and get a free month supply on all bundles at superbeats.com.
Go to 1-800-Flowers.com. Find the perfect gift.
And wow the people you love.
Wow. This is amazing. Whether you want to say happy birthday. So cute.
Or I love you.
I love you too. Thinking of you.
Wow.
Go to 1-800-Flowers.com. Celebrate the people you love.
Bacon, bacon, bacon. Introducing Applebee's new Whole Lotta Bacon Burger. Just $9.99 for a limited time. Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Introducing Miracle Smile, the revolutionary new water flosser that gently cleans and flosses your entire mouth in only 10 seconds. The secret is the specially designed 8-shaped flossing head with 4 targeted water jets that clean the top, bottom, front, and back of your teeth and below your gum line, all at the same time in just 10 seconds. Miracle Smile is more effective than string flossing, removing over 99% of plaque. Perfect for braces, dental work, or tightly spaced teeth. Compact, cordless, lightweight, and easy to fill and use. With 3 adjustable pressure settings, it's safe and soothing for sensitive teeth and gums. And it's water resistant, so you can use in the shower. Get yours at BuyMiracleSmile.com for only $39.99 or call 1-800-290-0628. Miracle Smile, the 10-second flosser.
There was a lot of obstacles for them to overcome that night. The weather was a huge part of it.
One infamous family at the center of tragedy and murder.
This story's got murder, it's got financial theft, and it just keeps going.
Storm of Suspicion, The Murdoch Murders. Premieres Saturday, May 4th, starting at 8 p.m. Only on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back into Storm Center. Every day at this time, I'd like to take a moment ahead to look into tomorrow's trouble spots tonight. And again, severe weather will start to become more of an issue. Tomorrow, I think it'll be a late start, so the middle of the country should be okay until later into the evening, possibly afternoon for some areas. Turbulence will be increasing, though, as our energy starts to move in. Our storm system, or storm track, kind of working through the southwest, and watch those light blues start to become into darker blues and even purples, which becomes more bumpy as far as turbulence go, almost severe in some cases. A lot of times these flights will avoid this, but if it does happen to be where you're landing, it can cause delays, certainly make for a bumpy flight or two. So as far as road conditions go, no major system in the northeast, but we will track those showers that we're watching in the Great Lakes tonight. That'll push into New England, and maybe enough cold air for a little bit of wintry weather for northern New England. It'll be a cold rain, though, here along the coast, and maybe a spotty storm or two later in the afternoon. Most of us, though, looking pretty cloudy with some blustery conditions along the coast. Now, that severe threat, again, into parts of northern Texas, central Oklahoma. Again, a later start here back towards I-40, but maybe some spotty storms around this time come tomorrow. So before then, our drives look okay, at least for now, in the Southern Plains. Jackie.
All right, well, things are going to get busier as the week progresses. As we take a look at the long-range forecast, we're going to start out on Thursday, which is really going to be what kicks off our severe weather multi-day event with two large disturbances in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Those are going to help to promote disturbances at the surface or an area of low pressure that's developing. So when we're looking at this model, this shows you the surface conditions, or at least near the surface of the earth, high pressure and control across the east. That's going to help to draw up more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and work with this developing low pressure system to kind of serve as a conveyor belt to bring in heat and bring in the moisture. As the low develops, we'll also have a dry line associated with this, and that's going to help to trigger showers and thunderstorms with very large hail as a threat and some damaging tornadoes. All are going to be possible Thursday. Ongoing storms expected into Friday, so severe weather will be possible Friday in the morning and into the afternoon. Then that system will exit and work its way to the north and east. The next system comes through Saturday and into Sunday. It will have a second area of low pressure that develops at the surface. This one likely to be stronger, with the atmosphere already ripe for severe conditions, and that could pose a more significant, more widespread, impactful event into the weekend. We'll continue to track this, of course, all week long here on Storm Center. Guys?
And Jackie, we're standing next to the globe right now because we're focusing on the states along the Gulf Coast and the states along the Atlantic.
Yeah, hurricane season not that far away, so now it's the time to prepare. And as we're protecting America for hurricane season, we're finally at the top state for building codes and safety, according to the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety. Top of the list, Virginia.
The state has one of the strongest code enforcement programs of the states analyzed. Recent adoption of the latest international building codes and one of the best certification programs for building code officials make Virginia the best with an overall score of 96 out of 100.
And according to the chief engineer at IBHS, this is something the whole country should strive for.
I'd love for us to be able to say a couple years from now, look, we have statewide, every state has the same type of safety provisions for the buildings in which we sleep as the food that we eat, that we have safety provisions to make sure that when we are living and playing and working in these buildings, we know what is behind the walls and we know what's protecting our families.
All right, so maybe that comes as a shock for some. Florida #2 on the list, so well prepared there, not far behind, but Virginia. But it's interesting the rankings, how consistent Virginia has been at the top of the list.
Yeah, in fact, it's done every few years, and going back 96 this year, previous 2 years 94, and then Chris before that 295s, and this goes back to 2012.
Yeah, and it's interesting, like they've said, when they asked the question, is there a standard building code for the whole country? There isn't. It's up to the states, and not all the states have a standard building code, like in Texas, perhaps.
So this is in particular looking at hurricane damage, but Chris, over the next few days, as we talk about severe weather, damage is also going to be possible from hail, tornadoes, flood, lightning, straight line winds, a lot to get to here this week.
So an ongoing threats, which will be multi-day across much of the middle of the country, while more to come here on Storm Center after the break.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy diploma. How much have I been spending on this little guy?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
The issue of animal cruelty and animal suffering across this country is an enormous issue. It's easy sometimes to kind of disassociate with something that's not right in front of you. Our commercials are showing the footage, and it's often a softened version of what is actually occurring in these situations. We see dogs carrying chains heavier than their own body weight, and this is how this dog lives entire life, basically a circle that this is its whole existence. We have found dogs with no protection from the elements, to be without shelter, without adequate water. Sometimes they're just left to languish until they die.
And that's why we need your support more urgently than ever. So go online, call, or scan this code to save an animal who's suffering.
When I think about the suffering that I see, and it's all terrible, it is so much more common than people think.
And so much worse. But today, you can take one simple action to save an animal's life. Just scan this code, or you can visit our website or call this toll-free number and sign up with your $19 monthly gift. You will save lives. That's our promise. Do it in the next 5 minutes, and we'll send you this exclusive t-shirt and welcome kit.
If you are there in person and you see what we're seeing and you hear the cries and the whimpering and you feel the fear, I think most people would be as outraged as I am.
Please hear their cries, listen to your heart, and help them. Go online, call, or scan now.
What is Circle? Circle is the fuel you need to take flight. Circle is your frosted treat with a sweet kick of confidence. Circle is the energy that gets you to the next level. Circle is what you hope for when life tosses lemons your way. Circle is your gateway back home. So what is Circle? It's your water, your way. Circle, available at Walmart and drinkcircle.com.